Well, 7 games were played in this weekend in the Nigerian Premier Football League. 2 wins were recorded at home, while of course we saw 2 wins on the road. Now the story for match day 6 from the Nigerian Premier Football League. Interesting fact, Nasarawa United are now top of the NPFL table. The first start for Anas Yusuf, the league top scorer from last season, and a first goal for the Nasarawa United player. And Coach Magnot is enjoying his reign with this solid minors. But before then, let's start with what happened on Saturday. The Bishop joins me as we look at what transpired from the NPFL match day 6 this weekend. 3 games were of course, postponed because of the teams on the continent. I have my reservations, but let's leave that aside. Even though it's something I'll continue to clamor for, we need to be smart in our thinking, but let's leave it aside. So, he started with Bendel Insurance, playing out a 1-0 draw against Bayelsa United. Finally, Bayelsa United got something, halting that run of poor form and getting a result in Bendel. Looks like a good one. The former coach of Bendel Insurance coming back to haunt his former side at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. 1-1 he ended in that one. And of course, Plateau United went on to beat Academy Warriors by a slim goal margin. The second win for Plateau, and they are out of the relegation. Good one for Plateau.
Yeah, Plateau, they look like a team. When they started this league a bit topsy-turvy, they were not consistent enough. But like we did say last week, they got their first win on the cards, and they haven't looked back. Playing in front of their home stadium at the New Just Stadium, it wasn't emphatic anyway, but it was dropped on 1-0. And the fans will take it. No, if they didn't start the season like a house on fire. 2 wins in the last 2 games, 6 points. Like you said, they pushed themselves, brought them out of the relegation zone. Good one for the coach as well, who's been under massive pressure. Talking about Plateau United, but for Bendel Insurance, I think there's trouble in paradise. I must say for Bendel Insurance. Yes, they started well, but this just showed that Mono Digi just showed you guys that I wrote the blueprint at this stadium. I can spoil it, to go there. It was looking like Bendel Insurance were going to leave in the game. We're leading 1-0 at some point to concede late in that game to ensure that Bayelsa got a point from that game. To me, it's 1 point gain for Bayelsa United, because heading to that game, a lot of people like, oh, they're playing at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. These guys are favorites. They're also better than you in the table. But to get a point for Bayelsa and Monday they get, to me, is huge. Huge points for Bayelsa United.
Well, on Sunday, in the battle of the newly promoted side, it was Barau FC who went to and conquered in a way as they defeated Kun Khalifa by 3-1.
Anywai, that game was played.
They're playing Aba. Of course, they're playing their home games in Aba. Yeah. It was 3-1. It ended for Barau FC. Of course, Barau FC are one of the privately owned clubs in the NPFL. They mean business. Back-to-back flying to games. This is not, unfortunately, this is not what we're supposed. We are expected to be celebrating in the NPFL.
But we are celebrating.
But because we're celebrating it because it's the standard.
That's the standard that should be.
Has kept us in. 3-1 win, good one on the road quickly. Also,
this is why I want more private sectors, to come into the league, like you said.
Because they also have somebody in government who has the money.
My brother, it doesn't matter, man.
Who has the money?
Private is private.
Is Remo not private?
It's one
can they fly to every game?
Oh, they can. They've got an owner who can fly them as well. Fantastic man.
They don't need to pay. Yes.
Exactly.
Just fly.
So, but the truth remains, let's be realistic. Kun Khalifa struggling.
Man, they're bottom.
I think if they stay up this season, it will be a miracle.
They can never stay up.
Before they start of the season,
they can never stay up.
Because they are my Eastern
they can never stay up.
Eastern brothers. I can't give them a chance. I'm going to celebrate their promotion to the Premier League because of the fact that they are privately owned. But to get spanked in front of you, first of all, they're not playing in Uweri, which is their main ground. They're playing in Aba. That means for them, if every game is a trip, every game is a trip. Whether it's home or away, they must travel by road to somewhere. That's a disadvantage already, But good kudos to Barau. What a start for them, going away, getting all 3 points. I think they're one of the 2 teams that got away victories this weekend. Fantastic win for them, And kudos to the team and the gaffer, But
let's go to Ozoro, where it was Wari Wolves 1, Shooting Stars. Suiting. 2. Yes. Of course, Kamal Adegoke, one of the goals for Shooting Stars, as they scored very late in the game. It is towards the last 10 minutes of that game to record back-to-back wins for Shooting Stars in the NPFL, and it now looks like Nudin Aweroro is working magic.
Yeah, he can breathe.
A win against Kun Khalifa last week, and now a win away. Their first away win of the season. 2 wins back-to-back, 8 points in the NPFL. Finally, Shooting Stars can smile.
No, he can breathe a sigh of relief, And the manner in which they won the game is what makes it even more sweeter. 2 late goals, when he scores scoring by late goals, it makes it sweeter. Fantastic result for Awororo. Like you said, he's been under pressure from the start of the season. Was like, how do you leave a working project, a project that is neither here nor there? It's quite shaky. But I think right now he's beginning to steady the ship. Like you said, 2 wins in 2. Don't forget the target for them is to get continental football. It's been clear. We have one of our friends of the house who's also with them, Ganla, if I'm not mistaken. For me, it's a great win, 2 wins in 2. And he kickstarts his season. I hope he keeps momentum going because the aim is to get them to continental football. Like they said, and the Commissioner of Sport in the state said, continental football. So for me, I'm happy for him. Like he's calmed the nerve. The pressure was too much. I was expecting. I just thought if he had not gotten a 6 point these past 2 games, the narrative would have been maybe shown the exit door. You know how it is introduced. I think they're one of the ruthless teams in the NPFL. But kudos to him and his boys for getting the victory.
Well, of course, Nasarawa United moved top of the NPFL log standing following a 2-0 win over Katsina United in that game. Anas Yusuf, the league top scorer among the goal scorers, 13 points in that for them right now in the NPFL from a possible 18. Are not entirely bad. Arsenal have got 13 points in the Premier League. So they will look at themselves and say, come on, if we're in the Premier League, we'll be second on the log.
Yeah, wow. Kudos. I can't stop waxing lyrical for Anas Yusuf. That boy is a boy wonder. An absolute gem, a blessing from the heavens, you know. You see that boy, he's got zeal, he's got passion, he's got guile. The boy is the it factor when it comes to Africa.
The boy wonder.
Absolutely. He's a fantastic individual, a beautiful soul, and a world-class player. He should be playing for one of the top leagues, you know, in Europe. Like you said, he hasn't gotten
just 21.
Under Magnus, you know, he hasn't gotten.
So he's just 21.
I agree, but come on, how old was I when he won the world best? You know?
Yeah,
so for me, like you said, the coach didn't believe in him, maybe because of the fact he
was just coming back. It was his first part of the season.
It doesn't matter.
He had to be eased into the system. He's a new coach.
It doesn't matter. Ahmad Musa Kejori Kalopela started playing immediately. If the coach didn't believe, but now I think he's gonna force himself into the mind of the coach Magnus, because the boy showed first start, first goal. He started the 2-0 victory, and come on. There's a reason why Nasarawa in the Premier League, he's the man. So he's Nasarawa United through and it's in his blood. So I think he's one of the best players we got in the league.
Well, Enyimba kept the unbeaten start to the season in check as they went to Ikorodu City and got a 1-0 draw in that one. And of course, lastly, we also saw Wiki Tories play out a 2-0 draw against Enugu Rangers. So just a comment on the Enyimba game. Yeah. Still unbeaten.
Yeah, still unbeaten. That's stuff of champions. Give kudos to the manager for Enyimba. Stanley Guma. I don't care I don't love his style of football. I think he's pragmatic, he's defiant, but he's efficient. We saw that 2 quarterfinals in the Conference Cup is no fluke, and he's beginning to steady the ship, unbeaten in the league. They look like like I said, the target for Kanu Wankwo and Ekweme, Tony Cleary, was to get him to show that they win continental place. Last time was a disaster for Enyimba, and they're trying to right it wrong. So good result, going away to Ikorodu, and getting Ikorodu is a very funny place to play football. I can assure you, Ikorodu is a funny place to play football. You don't want to go there. Very crazy place to play football. They got the job done. So give kudos to the team for what they've done. And let's keep our fingers crossed.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. The story for match day 6 from the NPFL table as it stands. And Nasarawa United lead with 13 points.
Also, kudos to Enugu Rangers as well.
Well, there's a reason why I just look at the Rangers and I feel like...
You want me to go to Bauchi and get the result?
I just feel like, to be honest...
Go to Bauchi and get the result.
I feel it's time for Rangers for a change of guard.
Finally, the working man.
He needs to leave.
Okay.
The results have been terrible from last season to now. They are barely just in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
I'm not the one to probably say manager should go, but I think he's reached the peak. That's my take.
Diminishing returns.
Exactly. Okay. And it's obvious in everything Rangers do this season. But I wish them the best. 2-2 draw against Wiki was a good result on the road. But Enyimba, Nasarawa United beg your pardon, lead with 13 points. Enyimba are second with 12 points. And Tornadoes, who did not play this weekend, are on, of course, 9 points. At the bottom of the NPFL table, Kun Khalifa, Kano Pillars, Barau, and, of course, Enugu Rangers. Good one for Barau. If they had not gotten this win, they would have been sinking waters. Yeah. But it's good that the NPFL will now gradually see more away wins, and hopefully it becomes something that we will enjoy. Of course, rescheduled games that will be played during the week for some of the teams that missed their games due to continental games. Their rescheduled games will be played during the week, so it will give time for that close-up of game. I think Ramos Stars play against Kwara United there about...
Rivers play Niger Tornadoes on Wednesday, Kwara play Plateau United on Thursday, and Abia Warriors will be at home to the Ramos Stars on Thursday.
So, of course, it will close the gap on all of these things, because having 2 outstanding games Doesn't make any sense for me. But the story for match day 6 of the Nigerian Premier Football League.